What's up, everybody? Hey, good morning, friends and YouTube. What's up? Been waiting for this. I knew it. I knew at least one of you was waiting for this moment. The Sunday moment. Yes, I did come through. I mentioned last update that if something cool happened, that I would come back. Hello. So cool things are happening. Being the trader is never a bad thing. So if you are long, make sure you're not being foolish. What's up? So yeah, all the hedge funds and lower level banksters and street money coming up for a reason why they lost again. Why they're offside. They'll blame Trump for sure. They'll be like, oh, this is Trump's fault. Yeah, you can see it coming already. So, target acquired. Welcome to my channel. Now that I've seen this materialize, I'm likely going to pull back on the posting of Ethereum and altcoins. It's not going to be so much TA driven for the decisions for exiting. It's going to be purely price point based and in concert with market sentiment. So, for example, when we were down in this discount here, the sentiment was that it was over. So we were able to counter trade that sentiment and run up in here into a premium. So people will still, you know, they put these things out in public and they're like, hey, I'm right. And it becomes an ego battle. And here's the most sketchiest point in the emotional roller coaster of market cycles, because it had found so much resistance here once before that any little slight down movement, they're short. And that will confirm their biases and they'll think, okay, it's downtime, but it's not time to look for shorts. Not even close. Now, that's not to say you can't find a short scalp, but why would you? Just learn how to buy dips, because price goes up more than it goes down. So I like where we're at. And this is the 3-month chart. This is where I'm turbocharging what I'm doing. So I'd come in here and just, see how much time is left of this candle. So we got September left. Holy snaky, that's funny. That is funny. There's still another month left of this thing, and look at it ripping. That's so funny. So now let's go into a monthly chart. And when we're up here, this is where the sentiment is very delicate, because people want to be the hero, and because across the board, so I've seen everybody wants it to be over. They think the market cycle's broken, and they just put stuff on their charts and say, hey, they put something on their chart and then they just believe it as they send it out. But in my opinion, it's not over yet. Now, you remember this candle here? So the month of July, how it was very dynamic in its move, but it had left that high alone. So this was the double top here that we were aiming for, but it just fell shy of it. And I said I would like nothing more than for it to just come down a little bit, and that's the point. That's the delicate area. Because as soon as it starts trading down, now this is a monthly time frame. So when it starts repricing lower in a monthly time frame, it's just a little tiny bit. But when you're in a 5 or 15 minute chart, it looks like it's over. So this is why you don't see me there. But well, it's not why, it's just unnecessary. But that there, it creates this down movement at the open of this candle, creates the idea that it's gonna equal high, and the sellers have now come in and everybody's selling, right? Wham! So this one here actually poked the all-time high. Congratulations, everybody who didn't fall for the psyops and stuck to your convictions. Awesome. Congratulations, everybody. So it did poke here, and that's fine. So like the next week, I'm not expecting anything, especially Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday and Friday, we could get some weird or into Saturday, we could get some weird move. Okay, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's for everybody. Just stay flat. Okay, the fun's going to come at the end of the week. And if you start trying to engage in garbage, you're going to be just cooked by the time the fun gets here. But I wouldn't mind if we didn't reprice higher momentarily until about the second week of September. This is where I'm looking for price to start sporadically repricing higher. And that market sentiment, because right now it's very fragile. Everybody's going, oh, yeah, we're at the all-time high, but this could be where the sellers come in. It hasn't broken out. Do you see what I'm saying? So the people who can't, let's go to a weekly chart. So it's kind of the same logic with what we did with this. This is what the retail traders were deeming support and resistance without considering trend first. So in here, it was finding resistance, right? And that's those selling pressure wicks. That's the bearish engulfing candle. Well, son of a gun, wham, right? So it gives them the idea that it's bearish. It's the same with this candle here. It doesn't take the equal highs, reprices lower with a bearish engulfing candle, boom, runs them all out. This right here at this high, the sentiment is so fragile that the people who were calling it over down here couldn't let it go here, couldn't let it go here. Now they are considering, okay, but it didn't break out. So if it starts repricing lower, you're going to see all the mainstreamers going, I told you it was over. Oh, so what? It poked the all-time. Like, I can already hear it. It's like rinse and repeat. But this is the primary best case scenario, in my opinion, is that it trades lower from here just a little bit, not much. In the case that it starts flash dipping and you were not offered, or maybe you weren't present, maybe you didn't jump on the discount market opportunity down here or here, if we get a flash dip, I don't want you to consider that a sell-off. I don't want you to consider that selling pressure. I want you to consider it a discount purchase. So what would that look like? Well, in the weekly chart, we have this low here. That's a swing low. I use 3 candle formation. So the lowest low in the middle, higher low on either side. So I'll attach my fib tool there, and I'll just mine the halfway point. I'm not concerned about anything else but the midway point. If price action flash dips, and I mean like people will be like, oh, it's over. Like, I mean like flash dip really hard. This is your opportunity to practice how to DCA, okay? If it starts dipping below this low, move your fib down here, okay? And this is going to be a discount purchase. As we rise higher, there is liquidity building down here. So because this low didn't take a pool of liquidity and didn't come into a discount, I'm not considering this a protected low. That's this low. Okay, that's my protected low. This is fair value. This is a discount. If it starts repricing below here, you guys can feel free to look for your reversal models, divergence, whatever it is. But I'm telling you, if it does decide to want to before it starts running out the all-time high, that's just a macro dip. So if you take that level, go to a monthly chart, it's that low. It's not that bad, but I look at it. Is price really going to come down here? Maybe it could. It could if it wants to be ruthless. I mean, crypto kind of is, but it kind of looks like it's in expansion mode now, doesn't it? So I wouldn't even consider that. I would go back to the weekly chart and I would use that low for my premium and discount. Just right there. And then move that red line to here. So if price action violently dips below this low, this is where you'd be looking for, or if you're just DCAing and buying red candles, perfect spot. But don't go considering it a sell-off because it's got unfinished business. It's going higher. Nobody can say for certain black swan, blah, 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 but we're not here playing that model. We're playing white swan model, magic carpet ride, right? So we're looking for higher prices just in a macro trend. So if it gets down into here, that could be the next protected low in the set, meaning that our fair value is above the market. Oh man, like way above the market, you guys. The next few weeks are going to be really interesting, okay? So I'm giving you your warning. Don't go start panic selling everything. I'm not saying don't pay yourself, as I suggested at the beginning. Pay yourself. We made it this far. Don't work for free. So let's work on targets. So this is going to be new to you, and that's okay. But this is kind of how I do things. So my beginning of the year is April. And I'm going to use this as a point of interest, but this candle is so limp, so it's not really giving me much to work with. So I'm going to use the next one. And because this candle is the exact same, I'm going to use that one. And because this candle here is the same color, I'm going to use that one. And that one here, wow. Press F to pay respects to the shorts. That's all I got to say. So I'm going to take the lowest low of this body here and the highest high of that body there. And now I'm going to start aiming for stuff like this. If there's a whole number, a 2, a 5, or an 8, I'm going to mark it off. So this one's 575. I like it. Five, 3, 1, nah. But I need the 2.5. Four, 8, 7. Kind of a nah. I don't like any of those numbers, except for that one. That's better. That's much better. So we made our pit stop at the first deviation of that down close candle. I'm not going to go into why it's awesome, it just is. And so this one lands on a 2, so I like that. Now these are price points for you to have on your charts moving forward. 1, 3, now let's put that 2 back on. Six, 2, 5, I like that. Three, 8, 1. That's pretty cool, but I mean, let's just keep going. See what 5 brings. 10,892. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So should we get into crazy moon targets? I mean, if we start ripping into beyond $8,000, that's probably where I'm going to do my next update. Yeah, I like that. And I really like that. So I'm not going to get into crazy tinfoil targets yet. We're going to see what we do for September, and then we'll go there. Just to kind of show you how cool stuff works and what I do. You turn on, like, I don't know, 20. See, 24. 25, 26. Let's try at 26. So 26 deviations of this specific consecutive or series of candles here was the tippy top of the last bull cycle. So I don't like doing what retail does with their fibs. I kind of do my own thing. And that's how I do it. So I'd take the previous cycle's low, the bodies, go to the cycle's high, and go, okay, does that align with anything up there? So that fib there. So 5, 5.5. Watch this. Negative 5.5. Look at how those two line up really well. So, I mean, you can call that random, but whatever. We'll agree to disagree. So that's kind of how I aim for stuff. I mean, how else are you going to aim for stuff? Other people do other things. I like to be a little more precise. And when we get to certain areas, when we get up above the market, if we're going to reverse, you won't actually have to question if we're reversing. It will be so mean and ruthless. You'll be like, oh, okay, we're reversing now. Because the dopamine ends real quick. So yeah, this is a 3-month chart, and then taking that, we'll go into a weekly chart. It's just like, this is where we come to get our patterns. So as long as we keep making flags, and maybe we rob a flag, then we're good. This is just hot. That's gorgeous. So this is targets. So this first one just happens to be the second one above the one we're almost, this one here. $8,620 even. I mean, come on. $20 even. That's so cool. Oh, 10,900. Nice. It'd be cooler if it was 8, but that's whatever. We'll call it close enough. But yeah. As far as dips go, and I can feel you asking. It's just what I showed you with this level here. And whatever high price action decides it's going to make before it drops, that's going to be where you pull your anchor, the top of your fib to. So from the low to the high, split that in half. It gets confusing because look, there's a lot of inflow on this asset. Okay, like a lot. So even though that's split in half, we don't actually have to go below half. So I know this is going to seem weird, but look, what I'll do is I'll wipe that off the market. I'll just pretend it doesn't exist. And if price is really strong and this support up here holds, like up here, and doesn't come below half, I will deem this here below the blue line and above the purple. That will be my discount. We don't have to flash dip. and there's record shorts. I know there's some liquidity below, but if it's too thin, it's not worth visiting, and it just rips. So just use whatever high it makes if it's going to come down to measure where you want them, and then you're patient. Now you know what you're being patient for. Discount dips. All right, let's check out the, I don't know if we did this yet, futures chart. When I'm talking about charting, and like if you see me posting anywhere, it's always going to be off of this chart. And so whatever I do is based off of the futures CME chart. This is the chart. And like I was mentioning to my students in the Discord today, if the CME gaps aren't support and resistance, well, explain to me why they aren't, because they clearly are. And when we had created this one here, I was looking for us to reprice into here to some degree and see a higher high, or if it was really strong, bounce here, and then, we were wondering, can it dangle here, reprice lower, just screw around here for August. And so that was the projection, the last one I gave you. And if you move it down a bit, we almost got it. But not quite. So it's going to be basically the same thing. I do want to see it go higher, but look, guys, because of the rate cuts coming, the entire world is turbo bullish. And I was not the only, but one of the very few that was saying everybody's turbo bullish on Trump. Okay, it's got to dip. I don't know how far, to some degree, whatever. It's going to rinse everybody before it goes up. And I mean, look what happened. So and then, everybody's sentiment is bearish down here, right? So now that we're up here, this is where the sensitivity kicks in, and we could peter around here. So that's why you're pulling your premium and discount, because you want to make sure that you get the lowest price possible. You're in a marketplace. And be patient for it. So, the hedge funds, that's funny. Their futures contracts weren't triggered over the weekend. They got lucky. That's funny. The overnight traders, because it went up after hours and then opened below open hours. So that's just funny. They got saved. They're panicking right now. I can smell them. They stink. So I'm just going to remove that. And then, so you have the targets I'm looking for. I'm just sitting here with my feet up, letting the candles do the heavy lifting. I'm not really worried about getting in. Now, this is the time where, if you're not already in something, this is the time where you let the candles do the work. Your hard work is over. And if you're not in, my coin is cheap, GMF. Anything pulse chain's cheap. GMF is on pump tires, pump.tires. There's lots of good stuff that's cheap out there. Just make sure that you're buying discounts. Stas likes Jupe. What else do people like? I don't really know. I don't really know what people like anymore. But yeah, just find things that are in a discount that actually have a community. Because if you're trying to buy things that are expensive, then, well, that's just goes without saying. Time is a thing. Trump coin. It's in a discount. Everything's gonna have its day. What's up, everybody? Hello. Oh, I love you guys. Hey, what's up, Dan Dangle? Love you too. I know the friendship has arrived. We spent a lot of time talking people off of ledges down in the discount doom there. Pat yourselves on the back. There are people that didn't listen to a dang thing that any of us had to say. Between Sam, Sami, and myself, which is the only three people I really know that is, still in from 4 years ago and beyond. It's just like, why didn't all those people, because their emotions ruled them. What their ideas of what they think the market are, their logical brains told them to sell. And that's okay. Orange Man bad. Yeah, they're already writing up their new resume. They're already day drinking. So your friend saw me on YouTube. He seems to think that there is a point in which the ETH BTC ratio really starts kicking off alt season and also Ethereum's price point. So that's what we're waiting for. I agree with it. It's his idea, and I agree with it. My ideas as far as time goes, I'm kind of like, I'm waiting for there to be my thing that says the uptrend is over now. That's all I'm waiting for. Beyond that, like, my edge was down here catching that dagger. Now we're up here, my edge is gone. That's why you're gonna see me fade until I start selling. I'll let you guys know when I'm selling. It's gonna be when the sentiment shifts. That's the second biggest thing. And I know I dragged that out this whole time. The second thing, the public sentiment. That's what's going to be it. That's what I'm going to do. So price points, specific price points, not dollar value in my account. Price points in the market that I'm willing to sell at. Much like the ones above. I'm not going to go, oh, it kept going and I could have had this much more. No. Once you collapse it, you go and put your feet in the sand on a beach. It can be a creek, but there's a frog there and he's going to come and say hello. And yeah, when me and Sami start making fun of people for going long and buying tops and calling 100K ETH. 8K, yeah, around there. So next week, it could look, can it double in price overnight? Sure. It's crypto. Why not? We've been in doom for so long. Look at all the chop. Look at how long ETH's been in chop for. That's crazy. That's macro idiot box chop right there. Macro accumulation range. Yeah. We could see like retard tinfoil targets, you guys. It's not even funny. So let's talk about that $20. Yeah, wild berries. Let's talk about it. Where is it? What's up, Armenian? What's up? I came to throw wild berries in the bus. What's up, Mario? It's baked in. Yeah, well, if we can dump into rate cuts, our chances of flying through rate cuts is really good. But with the market pumping into rate cuts, it gives everybody that, oh, yes, oh, momentum, and then boom. And that could be the flash dip. Could be the flash dip. And that's what you expect. You have to have an expectation that they are going to wipe out and unseat long positions before it goes up. That's what a trend does. It goes do, 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 right? And when it drops down, and then it's predestined, wink, wink, to make a higher high, that's where you catch the dagger. But you Google it and they'll say, oh, no, don't catch falling daggers. That's spooky. No, forget those guys. Those guys stink. You can catch falling daggers. We did it. Live. Yeah, Pete, I mean, like, at this point, even if that wasn't Richard's plan to peg PDI or ping pong PDI, he was provided and offered a plan with an accumulative of brains that put this picture together that could fix the maker and run an algorithm. Like, obviously he's had it planned. I mean, like, come on, let's not be stupid. But yeah, if PDI flash dips, I mean, a million coins is kind of tough to get right now. You know, I mean, if you got an extra, what is it, 6 G's or something, then sure. But I mean, why wouldn't you have a million PDI? I mean, if I mean, it's not even a big if. Like, the guy copied coins over that aren't the same price as the coins everywhere else. Like, the dude is a champion. Like, you might not have done all the research I've done, which is like an autistic amount. But if you just go to his old videos, now that it's 2020 freaking 5, and everybody called him a lying sack, scammer, is now eating their words and likely putting fries in the bag, because everything that he said came true. Everything that he said he was going to do is running, and it's flawless, and it's friggin' amazing. And people are still like, oh, blah, 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 he's a scammer. Actually, nope, not scammer. His crypto, the only crypto with, you know, certainty that it's not is a commodity, or isn't. The one, you know, I'm blanking out because somebody just sent me 99 cents. Thanks, man. Send me a super chat. Thanks, buddy. Security. That's the word I'm looking for. It's not a security. And he's got that in the courts now. Like, he didn't settle. XRP settled. That was for some fries. Thank you. Some spiry fries. Sweet. So yeah, anywho, this has been an awesome party without any music. So let's turn the beat on. So yeah, figure out what you guys are going to get into. Figure out where you guys are going to get out. Sit back. Let the candles do the heavy lifting. Don't go and blow your money on leverage trading. You see the people in the Discord leverage trading. They're highly trained professionals. And just enjoy your lives, guys. And we'll see you at around 8,000 US dollars. God bless you all. Thank you all for joining. We'll see you probably December. Peace.